You might have heard the saying that Muhammad Ali said, and this was, our brains don't know the difference between a joke and the truth. So knowing this, what if that was the same when we judge? When we judge other people, we are only judging ourselves. And we're always going to judge. It's just a part of, us being human, us being who we are. It's a part of who we are, and we can't stop that completely. When it does arise and we find ourselves judging, these are the parts that we need to catch ourselves doing. We need to catch ourselves in them moments where we're judging someone else for no reason at all. If you believe what we think, what we say, what we do, how the conversations that we have all affect on manifesting or creating the life that we now have, or the life that you want, then this would make sense with the jokes that we make about ourselves, the way that we judge people, our thoughts, conversations we have. It makes sense that if you are judging someone, that it's not them that you're judging. It's a deep part of yourself that is hurt, that is wounded, that feels insecure, that's upset, and it's just a way for you to make yourself feel better. Because it isn't a productive thing to do. It isn't a thing that's going to elevate us or make us, better. It's just a thing that we do in that very moment where we want to just get some gratification, oh, we're better than him. If you can look at someone that's got a really nice physique, or a physique that you want, we could instantly jump to, oh, he's on roids. Nah, you can't get a physique like that, he's on roids. But no, he could have actually done the hard work. He could have actually stuck to it. He could have done it for 10 years, 15 years, however long. And he's got that physique because he's worked hard for it. Not that you just instantly jump to, he's on roids. He hasn't put in the hard work, and, everyone's exactly like you. And you look at it in a way that is putting shame on their hard work to make you feel better, because you've been there, you've tried to eat healthy, you've tried to go to the gym consistently, but you can't do it because you failed so many times. You can't find what clicks right for you, and that makes you feel shit. That's a part of yourself that you're not proud of. That's a part of yourself that's hurt, that you don't understand about yourself, and that's okay. But in these moments, we have to catch ourselves. We have to be aware of what we're saying and what we're thinking and how we're judging. It's just the mechanism inside of us, or other words known as the ego, trying to protect us, trying to protect parts of ourselves that is hurt, that is upset, that is insecure, part of ourselves that isn't healed, that doesn't feel worthy. In them moments, it's about recognizing what we're doing and then looking after ourselves. Take care of ourselves in that moment and process it, and start to understand ourselves, and start to understand where this judgment's coming from. Because it's nothing to do with that other person. It is nothing to do with that other person. It is fully to do something within you that feels unworthy, that feels upset, insecure. It's a part of you that needs healing, that needs understanding, that needs for you to show some sort of love towards, or some sort of empathy and caring for. It's a part of you that feels weak. It's a part of you that you need to go within. You need to journal. You need to look at yourself and be honest with yourself, and have an honest conversation with yourself in them moments where you find your ego taking over, you find yourself judging. Because judging others is only judging yourself. And this is what I mean when I talk about the compass within inside of us that we need to follow. Is when these moments arise, when these situations in our life that come up show us parts of ourselves that feels insecure and unworthy, this is the path that we must take. This is the next lesson, the next part that we can grow in our life, the next stage. Yes, we can take in other people's advice on healthy habits that we can take in our life, and we can, find out stuff about ourselves in them areas. But when we do say we take up someone's advice on how to start the gym, then, when these thoughts arise, when you walk into the gym for the first time and you think, oh, you see a big lad in there and, he's lifting some hefty weight, like probably hefty for you, it's quite a lot of weight for you as a beginner, and you find yourself sitting there like, oh no, he's got to be on roids, he can't be that strong, You're sitting there in them moments and you're judging. Like, these are the moments that we need to understand. These are the moments that we need to be aware of so we can follow that and we can journal, we can process it, we can understand it. And this is a part of what I mean by understanding ourselves, is listening to this compass within inside of us and then follow that direction. Do some work, do some inner work, some shadow work, some journaling, and really just get to know how we work, how our brains work, how our body functions. These moments show us so much about ourselves, show us so much of how we work and how we process stuff, how our brains work, and how there's things in our lives that affect us in ways that we don't want to, like the ego, like this way of thinking. It's not productive. It's just a way to make ourselves feel good, which seeks instant happiness or quick releases of happiness. And in that moment, you walk into the gym, you judge this lad who's on roids, who's on some steroids. You looking at that, you'll think, I don't want to take steroids, Theoretically, he's taking steroids. In your mind, this lad is taking steroids. You don't want to take steroids, and you think the only way to look like that, to look that good, to lift that weight, is to do roids. And you don't want to do roids. You want to be natural, and you think, what a waste of time. If I can't look like that naturally, then what a waste of time. And you'll quit. You'll feel rubbish about yourself, and you might go home and order some takeaway. You might go home and play video games all night to run away from this feeling of like, I'm never going to be there. And that's something within you. In that moment, you judging is affecting you in so many different ways that you don't understand. It's affecting the rest of your day. It's affecting how you act the rest of the day, how you think for the rest of your life if you don't become aware of it. So follow the compass within inside you. Start to understand yourself in these moments where we start to judge or the ego takes over. Become aware of it and start to understand yourself. I can't help you understand yourself because there is situations, there are parts of your brain, there's parts of how you function as a person, as an individual, there is no one like you with how you think, with how you function, with how you feel. There is no one that truly understands you except you, and that's what I can guide you and I can help you in certain ways, but I can't fully get to explain everything in full detail because I don't know 100% who you are and what you do and how you function. It's about you going on your own journey, you taking life by the balls and figuring out stuff for yourself, figuring out how you work for yourself. It's about putting yourself in them uncomfortable situations and exposing yourself to shame and worry and insecurity, and then work on them parts of yourself that you don't feel that you feel insecure about, that you feel less worthy, that you feel like there's a part of you that needs work. And that is a singular journey in itself, is to find out who you are and understand who you are. And this is how we can find our purpose within our life. Find parts of ourselves that we've had to work on, that we've had to learn, and then, start to implement a job, a career, a life choice that reflects that helps other people in that area that you've struggled in. For me, it's like, you know, how my mind works, how things affect me, like my mindset, fitness, like that's what I'm doing. These are things that I've struggled with in life, how my mind works. Like, I've never been able to control my emotions. I've never been able to feel good about myself and feel worthy. I've always felt insecure and worried and anxious and judging people all the time. And these are parts of myself that I've learned that I'm now creating these videos for. To create videos that are going to help people become a better version of themselves, a better man. This was my journey. This was how I've come to understand myself and give the knowledge that I know. I've had to, you know, do a lot of shadow work, do a lot of deep work and journal and put myself in situations that are uncomfortable, that are really scary to me, that were scary to me. Places where I just couldn't imagine myself, like 5 years ago, I couldn't imagine myself doing. But I had to do that to expose myself to how I worked, how I felt in these situations, how I can overcome this insecurity, this anxiousness, this fear. And that's what makes us grow. That's what makes us become a better man, a better father, a better leader. We have to expose ourselves to uncomfortable situations to find out more about ourselves, listen to the compass within, and understand ourselves. Thank you for listening, boys. I hope this helped. Love you, boys.